How about that? So now we have the rankings in. At least we have the top 4 teams and the 4 teams that will be in the college football playoff. Our graphics operator, Brandon's been hard at work.
Feels like Christmas.
And he's ready to go.
The sad part is we're not allowed. We have no idea.
No, this is a cool. We really haven't seen.
Well, number one.
So let's see it right now. Everybody's wanting to see it. Let's see who number 1 is.
Go that one.
The number 1 team.
And by the way, here's the reaction in Tuscaloosa. Put it up.
Throw it up.
Yawn. Yeah, here we go. It's time
there we go.
All
right, get back out there and recruit. Let's go.
Alabama is number 1 as expected. Because they're number 1, can't put the number 1 seed at a geographical disadvantage. They'll play their semifinal game in Atlanta. At number 2, Clemson, by virtue of the ACC championship, moves up a spot. They're in the 2 spot now against number 3. Let's see if Ohio State holds in the top 3 spot, and it is. It will be the Tigers and the Buckeyes.
That was a different reaction you just heard in Columbus. That was a different reaction than what you heard in Tuscaloosa.
What was the reaction in Columbus like?
Oh, my gosh. You cannot imagine the texts I'm getting.
Exactly.
People that thought they were going to be left out.
Really?
Yeah, that there was some curiosity, to be sure.
People kept saying TCU.
They're
like, are they going to get a TCU?
To me, it's exactly what I anticipated with Clemson winning last night, flipping them to 2 and Ohio State dropping to 3. The only anxiety we all have is the next spot, but are we going to get there now?
How we get there now? This is the answer the selection committee has deemed the best one. At number 4,
Washington
champions of the Pac-12.
Yep.
How about it?
Washington Huskies.
That's right, everybody. Last week was conference championship week. There weren't too many upsets last week. There weren't really any, except for maybe a couple group of 5 conference championship games. But there weren't too many upsets. There were a lot of good games, though. We will recap those here in a second. But here we have the college football playoff. Alabama number 1, Clemson number 2, Ohio State number 3, and Washington number 4. Now, I know the order here on the screens, but just show the matchups. We have Alabama versus Washington, obviously, and Ohio State Clemson. We'll predict these in a later video coming up in a couple weeks. And anyway, so let's get right to it. Is this what it should be? Are these the 4 best teams in the country? Which committee chairman Kirby Hocutt has said time and time again that their main goal is to pick the 4 best teams. Personally, I think Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson definitely deserve to be in the playoff. However, I do think the gap between Washington and Penn State is really tiny. You can probably barely see it here, but it's really tiny. I probably would have put Penn State in on this. I think they are one of the 4 best teams in the country right now. That's just my opinion, and I'm sure Craig Dad Cruz thinks the exact same thing, judging by his prediction last week. Is that right?
Concerning Penn State and Washington?
Yeah.
It just gives more reason for the NCAA to do a 4-team, 2 wild card type playoff, or maybe an 8-team playoff for number 1, because beyond number 8, the teams significantly decrease. I don't mind an 8-team playoff. You have a 4, you might as well have an 8. Or just do what the FCS does, like I've always said, and do it that way. But it shortens the regular season. But yeah, Penn State to me is just as good as Washington, so it really could have went either way. I wish Penn State would have been in. But I'm glad Michigan's out. That's great to me. So.
Alright, so now we're going to shortly here predict the Army-Navy game this week. But first, we're going to give which game in the season, or which game of the conference championship week we thought was the most surprising. And for me, I'm probably going to say Clemson and Virginia Tech. For, a good half of the ball game, we thought, Clemson probably going to run away with it at the end. But Virginia Tech had a nice comeback and almost took it away from Clemson, which would have been nice for me, as an Ohio State fan. But doesn't really matter anyway, no. But I do think, it was a really surprising game. I think it'll be that high scoring, let alone, Clemson just edging it out at the end. What about you?
That was an excellent game on Virginia Tech's part. Clemson had to make sure they stayed alive. That's pretty much, I would definitely agree with you there.
Alright, so let's get to really the only game this week, in my opinion, that matters. Maybe a couple Sunbelt games, but we're not going to worry about those. Is the Army-Navy game. Now, if I do remember correctly, Navy has a 12 or 13 game winning streak. I said 12 or 13 because I'm not sure. Oh, here. Oh, I'm stupid. It says right here. So they've won 14 actually, and this would make it 15 straight over Army. Do I think it's gonna end this year? I do. I really think it's gonna end this year. I've said it's gonna end every year. I've rooted for our Army, for as many years as I would college ball. Just hasn't happened yet. I want Army to win, and I think they finally get it done this year.
Well, I'm gonna go against my. I don't think Army's gonna win. I think Navy's gonna crush them. They're ranked in the top 25. I mean, they're pretty good. And Army they had a good start against some easier foes in the beginning of the season, but they haven't shown anything, lately to me that's impressive than Navy. But it is a rivalry, so I'm not throwing that out. I'm picking Navy to win this one just because they're so much better. And I wanted to. So last week's game, I don't know if you watched it, but the West Virginia Baylor game was pretty good. That one I thought was great. And also the Western Michigan game, they almost lost. So I thought that was actually, Western Michigan versus Ohio was my favorite game last week. For Western Michigan, they didn't get enough love. They did make a New Year's 6 game, so.
Alright, so that'll end today's video, or this week's video rather. Now we have videos coming in the next few weeks. I think we will actually be able to do a video together somewhere along the line. Playoff. We're excited. And we'll see you then.
Where I will that Ohio State will lose to Clemson.
Spoiler alert. Anyway.
Spoiler.
Yeah, it really is. He's so biased, not funny, but yeah. So we'll probably be a video up next week. Probably predicting some of the bowl games because there's 41, 42 bowl games. So of course we can't really do that all in one video. Giving the extensive analysis that we like to give. So anyway, we will see you next week. Any last words for the people at home?
Yep. Northwestern's going to bring home the hardware this year, but Ohio State will have 0 hardware. And with that I say, Daddy-O, out.